Hello, my African kings and queens. This is Jacqueline here with another Grow video today. And I want to start off by saying, you know, a lot of people don't know me, but I am a minister. I am a spiritual counselor. And I have been in touch with spirits all my life. But mine is used to the glory of God, not for entertainment purposes. So I use my gifts in accordance and with the word and with the walk of God, and to bring glory to God's people and to lift up our African American race as a people. So I get this, I hear this question asked often: why can't black people just get over slavery? First of all, let me correct one thing. We are not black. Black is a color. We are African American people. We are an African American race of people, a group of people who were brought here involuntarily. Our ancestors were brought here involuntarily and are now guide us through life. Okay, the reason why us as an African American people have not gotten over slavery is because we're steadily reminded daily in our daily life that our lives are not important, to the point that we have to make a statement that Black Lives Matter. That shouldn't even be a statement. That should be automatic, just as if Caucasian lives matter, European, Chinese, Japanese, Jewish, any other race of people. Everyone's life matter. It should not even be a statement, but it has to be a statement, because right now we in this country are at a point of reckoning of with the past. We are reckoning right now, and it's like a volcano erupting, if you want to think of it that way. A uprising, if you will. And so now we have to reckon with the past, reckon with the future, and what are we going to do? So in the meantime, we can't sit by and say, well, I'm gonna see what he's gonna do. Well, it look like they getting ready to start something. Well, they might say something. We have to get up. Whoever you are, you have to continue to pass the torch. You have to continue to make a difference. So you have to continue to rise up. You have to continue to make a difference. Just like the Honorable John Lewis said, let's make some good trouble. When we use our voices, we don't have to use our fists. We don't have to use weapons. We can use our voices. During this fight, the fight for righteousness, the fight for justice, the fight for equality, there has been blood shed. There will continue to be blood shed. And it's sad to say that we have to come, it has to come to bloodshed, because the people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear that this is wrong. They don't want to hear that you went from pulling them out of their house to lynching them to just lynching them on the streets with a bullet or a knee. So they don't want to hear. And so when they close their eyes and don't want to hear the truth, they rather use their fists and weapons and guns and fight to keep you quiet. But we cannot be quiet anymore. We cannot be quiet. I can't sit by and let these images continue to play over in my mind without saying anything, because that could be me. That could be my family member. That could have been my husband. I think about the young man Philando Castile and his killer Geronimo Yanez. What did he do to die? Why did the police officer deem himself to be judge, jury, and executioner, and then on top of it, got away with it? Where is the justice? This man's life is gone. His children are left to mourn. His daughter without a father, his wife without without her husband, her companion. And we're just supposed to just, okay, just, well, let's just go on. You going to work today? No, I'm going to go, but, well, we're going to go. No, this is not okay, people. Government, Senate, House of Representatives. Hello? This is not okay. We got people dying out here in the street, being murdered, still being lynched, but you say we have equality? What does that say that in the Constitution, that we have equality? Where's our equality? Where's justice for all? Where's the blind lady? What happened to her? It never mattered to us. This is passionate to me. I'm sorry that I get excited, but this is so passionate. Trayvon Martin looks just like my son. When I look at my son, I see that young man. My son used to walk to the store and get Skittles and Arizona iced tea. And after that happened, I started driving my son everywhere he needed to go. I stopped him from walking in the neighborhood. But just think, that mother, just think about what she has to deal with the rest of her life. And then you have the man who did it. Not only did he get away with it, after 911 told him to leave the young man alone, he is not bothering him, he chose to follow him, hunt him down, and murder him. And then he proceeded in the United States justice system to get away with it. And as a further twist of the knife, to brag about it. As often as anyone will give him the platform to do so. So we need to remind Mr. Zimmerman as often as we can of what he did. Because I can tell you right now, I promise you, that in his heart of hearts, and I say this with tears in my eyes, in his heart of hearts, he is sorry. If he could go back and do it again, there's a piece of us, because there's a piece of us God put in us. And it's called love. And it's there. Because it's hard to think about it, but it's there. This man, even though he got away with killing this young man, he has to look at himself in the mirror every day. He has to be reminded of the image of the young man laid out in the grass. He has to remember how his hand felt, how hot his hand was after he pulled that trigger. So he's living his daily torment, Mom, Miss Sabrina. I promise you, he's living his daily torment. I am in touch with the ancestral spirits, and I know that he is living in torment, regardless of what he may say in public to make everybody think he's the big man. He's living in torment, and he is in daily fear of his life, because now he knows what it feels like to be hunted. He is looking over his shoulders every day. And we need to remind, not that I'm not sending out any type of threats to Mr. Zimmerman, but I am saying that Mr. Zimmerman is thinking about what he has done, and he knows what it feels like now to be hunted. Even though he wants to portray the big man, he's not the big man. And Mr. Zimmerman, I'll tell you that to your face. You are not the big man because of what you did to that young man. You're not. And nobody looks at you as a hero. Nobody deems you to be righteous. You're living a daily torment. So, okay, on something else. I want to remind everyone of the name Geronimo Yanez. So when people say, why can't you get over racism? Why can't you get over slavery? There is no racism. There is no slavery. Yes, there is. The slavery is we're enslaving our minds. We're still oppressing one another. As we are being oppressed, and as we watch this unfold in front of our daily lives every day. We can't get by it. No matter what the media says, well, we don't want to show you this. Well, it's there. We have to see it because it is a crime being committed in broad daylight, just like it was being committed hundreds of years ago in broad daylight. We're still going through this same violence against our people. So how can you get over something that's still going on? And any explaining means nothing, because we're beyond explaining. Now it's time for action. Now it's time for our legislators to get in and make honest reforms. The police department, the Klan needs to be rooted out of the police department, because that's where the branches of the Klan is at, in the police department. The roots of the Klan are grounded in the police department. The seeds of the Klan were planted in the police department, and then it branched off to the lawyers, which branched off to the judges, which branched on off into our legislative branches. So as people of color continue to come in, we're beginning to make change. We're beginning to write reforms, and we need to continue to make our voices known, to speak out about wrongs that are being committed, and no justice. So when there's no justice, of course there's no peace. Justice goes with peace. Those two go together, just like water and air. Just like Kool-Aid and sugar, cereal and milk, they go together. Justice and peace go together. Where there's no justice, there's no peace. So we need to continue to make our voices heard. We need to continue to make our voices known to the legislators, when we send off our votes. Study, read about who you're voting for. Think about why you're voting for them. What do you think that they're going to do once they get in office? Because some of them will fool you. That Mr. Kentucky Attorney General, some of them will fool you. They look right, they fit the part, they talk the part, but once they get in there, they throw a monkey wrench in the whole program. Because Mr. Kentucky Attorney General, you need to get out of there. Mr. Cameron, whatever your name is, because we need justice for Breonna Taylor. We need justice for Miss Breonna Taylor. Mr. Cameron, Mr. Kentucky Attorney General Cameron, how would you feel if that were your mother, your daughter, lying asleep in her bed and she was murdered? What would you have done by now, Mr. Kentucky Attorney General? Or if that was your new wife, what would you have done now? Mr. Kentucky Attorney General, you wondering why they're protesting, why they're angry, why they're upset? Because all you're giving is excuses. We need answers. We need justice. We need charges. We're steady seeing the flash of the police officers with his big wide grin. Nobody wants to see that. I want to see his face, how he looks after he's been indicted. I want to see that look. Take a picture of that and show us that. So let's do something, Mr. Kentucky Attorney General Cameron. Newlywed, get to work. Let's get charged. Let's get these officers charged. Let's get some justice for Breonna Taylor. Her soul cries out right now. And we will carry on the torch. We won't be quiet. I'm going to use my tiny platform and shout. I hope somebody shows you this video, Mr. Kentucky Attorney General. I hope you call me and we can talk about it. All right, my people. I love you. Let's continue to grow. You have a wonderful day. I have to go visit my dad. I love you. Let's grow. Peace.